on this episode of Haemi Thoughts.
Hello, and welcome to Haemi Thoughts. I believe this is the fifth podcast I'm doing on Haemi Thoughts, and I have things to say, things that have been on my mind this past week. So, I've been rushing for Greek life, for social Greek life, and I gotta say, it's been quite an experience. I did not expect it to end this way, end as in it's a bust, because I guess I just realized I don't really fit in. But I did learn many things, such as it's a very cruel process. It's a process that kind of leaves you with a hurt self-esteem because, especially when you get rejected from houses, you realize that you start reevaluating yourself. For me personally, it's the first time that I actually put myself out there, pitting myself against other girls. I've never done athletic stuff. I've never done competition. So this is actually the first time that I actually got kind of rejected and I felt a little disappointed. But I am not emotionally invested in rushing, so I guess it wasn't that bad. But still, I questioned myself a lot, thinking, why am I worth less than other girls? And besides that, there are happy things that happened in college, and it's not just sadness, disappointment, and despair. I recently learned that my GSI in my film class, Nick, he actually got engaged this past weekend, and I realized that GSIs have lives. They are people too, and they do things, and they move on with their lives. Congratulations, Nick. I'm very happy for you. And then also in college, I've seen many different styles. In high school, you can see like different groups of people and the way they dress, and you make assumptions about them. And I mean, that kind of ties in with rushing too, because rushing, I kind of scrubbed. That was my mistake. I did not know you had to really dress up because I thought they wouldn't be looking at those kind of things. But you can't really know a person by talking to them for 5 minutes. So I guess the only thing you can really base your opinion off of is how they look. And so all of the girls dressed up, and I should have too, to make a better impression. And that was my mistake. But appearance really does matter in a place where you are kind of fending for yourself and you don't really have time to invest talking and having a genuine conversation with people and sitting down with someone and just getting to know them. You don't have the time for that, nor do you have the interest. If you look at someone and they look like they can give you something, whether it be connections, networking, or making you feel popular, making you feel good, like you're on the right track socially in college, then you'll start thinking, oh, maybe I should get to know this person, maybe I should say hi. But if you're a person who doesn't really look like they can give you any of those things, then you have to really go out of your way and put down your pride and actually talk to people and put yourself out there and be social, especially when you're not used to it. It is very hard. It's a very big transition when you go into college. What is it? I have a list. I prepared a list this time of stuff I want to talk about. Okay, besides that. Okay, this morning I went to the NCRB, which is a North Campus recreation building. For the first time I've gone there. And, okay, I haven't booty camped in a very long time because I've been trying to settle in college. But this morning I took the time to go to the gym. And then I went in there. It was very, new to me. I didn't know where anything was. I just walked around the place, explored for maybe 10 minutes. And then my booty camp started. First, I ran for half a mile. I didn't realize how out of shape I was because I was very winded after half a mile. And I was like, wow, this is horrible. And so after half a mile, I stopped because my heart was beating too fast and it felt very weird. After that, I did 50 push-ups. Good push-ups. They're not girl push-ups. I did real push-ups, okay? Because that's how we do. And then after that, I went and did 60 squats. Squats are good for you. If you want a good butt, you need squats. And then after that, I did some of the, what is that thing called? The thing with the,
Curling?
Yeah. What are the weights called? What are they just called?
Dumbbells?
Yeah, with the dumbbells. And then I did that with my arms. You can't do it with anything else but your arms. Okay, so I did those with my arms. And then after that, I was like, this is good enough. Did some more squats, and I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. And then I had a lot of soda after that. But I need a little pick-me-up, okay? So went to the gym. That was good. I'm gonna go there more often. Yesterday we have this mandatory presentation. It's basically like sex ed, but for college. But an aspect of that is, besides learning about consensual activities and consent, is there was this part about communication. They really stressed how communication is key to any healthy relationship. And I'm kind of I already knew about that. I say that a lot. Communication is key. And so when they start talking about how communication is really important, I was like, yes, lay it on me. I know all this stuff. Good. This is an affirmation of my beliefs. That means I know I'm right. That means, yes, I'm on the right track. And then overall, they just said stuff that we all kind of knew, but it was a nice reminder. And how in middle school and high school they really stressed bullying, and they gave you a lot of assemblies and lots of talks and videos about the dangers of bullying. Well, in college they don't do that because they don't really care. But they do stress stuff like mental health, people get depressed here, and they also stress sexual health. There's a lot of resources about that. So it's kind of another different transition from high school to college. Different priorities, different problems. People are growing up, and so are their problems. We don't have a bully here anymore, just because no one cares about you enough to bother you that much. And then, so besides the life of Haemi, I do have a guest here who did our lovely intro. His name is Clayton Daly. Hello, Clayton.
Hello.
So, Clayton, where are you from?
I'm from Hawaii.
Oh my, you really? You're from Hawaii?
Kind of. My dad's in the Coast Guard, so I move around a lot, but I have been in Hawaii for the past 5 years.
Oh, okay. And Clayton, since coming here, how many times have you had to say that whole speech?
Enough times to make last week's guest pretty mad, John. He gets pretty mad over it, but it's almost second nature when I talk to a new person now to say that spiel.
Probably maybe 25 times.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
So So Clayton, my first question for you is, what has been the biggest shock since coming and moving into college? Whether it be culture shock, weather shock, class workload shock, electrical shocks, friend shocks, I don't really know. What do you think?
I think, well, me personally, it'd probably be the cold blast because in Hawaii, it doesn't really go below 60 at all. I mean, it goes below 60 a little bit, but it won't go much during the winter. And it's already, like, I've seen 49 already. And I think that's, I'm sounding a little sick. I think just the coldness got me sick. And I think the other shock would be, well, at least so far, crossing my fingers, knocking on wood, the workload isn't as bad as people make it up to be, at least right now. But exams haven't really started yet. But, like, I feel like I'm doing fine and not struggling yet.
Good. I see, did you bring proper winter clothes?
I'm pretty sure I did because I have been snowboarding and stuff, so I brought plenty of layers, but we'll find out.
Okay, good. So, you know how to dress for the winter. But let me tell you, Michigan winter is not something that you kind of joke around about like John does. Like, he's always like, I can't wait. I'm like, shut up, you don't understand. You don't know. Okay, question number 3. Question number 3. Let me think. Okay, so what do you think about all this new freedom that we have? I mean, really, no matter what parents say, there is really no way they can like enforce it. So what kind of decisions have you had to make where you had to either control yourself or do some time management, and have you struggled with that?
There is really no understatement of how free you are in college because pretty much you can do whatever you want, just like Haemi was saying. You don't have to go to classes. Half the lectures have so many people in it, the teacher has no idea if you're there or not. But yeah, just like, and like, staying out late, going wherever you want. I say just make sure you make safe decisions and do stuff with your friends so that you won't end up in a bad situation. So as long as you make smart decisions and like, stay with your friends, I think you should be fine. So far, so good.
I mean, that's a very vague answer. How has that applied to you personally?
I don't know. I kind of keep my personal life private.
Interesting. Very interesting. We'll see. Another shock for me has been all the deer that I've been seeing at night. I would just be out and it's getting dark real fast now because the winter's coming. So I'd be walking and it would be like dark and I would just turn my head and then there would be a deer looking at me and I'll be like, oh my God. Oh my goodness, there's a deer there and it looks all spooky because it's like under like a lamppost and it's like all the shadows and all the lights and I'm like, oh my God, it's like a spirit of the forest coming out. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? And I was like, okay, keep walking, don't look at it. Oh my God, it's like walking and then it's like, and there are like 3 more right behind it. I'm like, wow, they really weren't kidding when they like said you'd be seeing a lot of wildlife because it's true. I've seen lots and lots of squirrels, lots of chipmunks and deer. I think a raccoon.
And I saw some geese the other day.
Oh yeah, there are tons of geese. There's poop everywhere on the sidewalk. And what else? Wildlife in general, as in like drunk people. I've seen lots of drunk people. They're rowdy like animals anyway. All right, so this has been the it's been the latest episode of Haemi Thoughts. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
And that's all, folks.